Women Talking, 2022 film from writer-director Sarah Polley. It's based on a book, which in turn is based on a real story, although it happened in Bolivia, whereas the movie depicts it as happening in most likely USA or Canada. The film has an amazing cast. Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, Jessie Buckley, Judith Ivey, and a tiny appearance from Frances McDormand. It won the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay and was also nominated for Best Picture. The story takes place in 2010 in an extremely isolated Orthodox Christian community. They live without modern day appliances and things. At the beginning, we learn that in this community, women are suffering because of serial rapes. Men attack various women at night, use horse tranquilizers to keep them asleep, and then rape them. When the women try to complain about this and try to get justice, they are told by the leaders of the community that it's demons who attack, or ghosts, or even that they make all of this up. And then the women manage to actually catch one of the rapists red-handed, and he gives out the names of some others. They are arrested, they are taken to the city, and the other men in the community all gather to take their money, go there to post bail, try to get them out. Before leaving, though, they leave the women with an ultimatum to consider. When we come back, you either forgive us all and we go back to living as we were, or you are banished from the community and you have to leave forever. And the film really starts at this point, with the women of the community gathering together in a barn and debating what they should do. Forgive and forget, leave, or perhaps stay but fight the men. And essentially the entire film is just a series of conversations that are about the situation, but also more generally philosophical. A wide cast commentary about the role of women in society, about the problems and discrimination and abuse that they face, about how violence is passed down from generations to generations and perpetuated in that way, about what options are left for women in such situations. So I have a problem with this film, because I agree with its politics. I think it raises solid points. I think the discussion it tries to have is a very important one to have, and some of the more philosophical points it makes are rather interesting. But at the same time, I don't think that this automatically makes it a good movie. And, well, frankly, I didn't find Women Talking to be that. I think it's too stagey, too static, feels too little like a movie and too much like an essay. And I know it is a hard thing to do, to make a film about conversations in a single room. But it has been done before. Obviously, 12 Angry Men is the greatest example of all time. More recently, we also had movies such as One Night in Miami, which was quite compelling as well. But something about Women Talking turned me off. And I'm not sure if it's the direction or something else, but something is certainly missing to translate that philosophical debate into an engaging visual on-screen story. It also doesn't help that I don't like the way this movie looks like. It's deliberately very, very desaturated, washed off any color. It's basically as close to black and white as you can be without actually being black and white. And I don't like movies with color palette like that. I don't like this lifeless, dull, gray feel. I get that it fits the story, but I think it would be a mark of a better director to tell that same story without having to do away with any color, visually speaking. I think there's something interesting to be found in contrasts. I do think that the performances are very good. I especially liked Claire Foy and Jessie Buckley, who are both playing very angry characters, but they both channel that anger and direct it in very different ways, so it was interesting to see them contrasted. I also liked the score. It was composed by Hildur Gudnadottir. She's previously made music for Chernobyl, Joker, and Tar. Some really interesting sound here as well. All in all, I wasn't swept away by this film. I know it's been praised by a lot of people, but it simply didn't work for me. And again, crucially, not because I disagree with its messages and with the points that it tries to make, but because I think it feels too literary and not cinematic enough.